What's up, everybody? Richard back today with another episode of the Warped Report. And this week we have some stuff to get to, so I don't want to waste a whole lot of time. In this episode, we're going to cover things such as a new tour that was announced that we should take a look at. We also have Limp Bizkit, who made quite the showing at Lollapalooza this year. Some news on Under Oath, and of course, we're going to touch on the passing of one of the most iconic metal drummers of my lifetime. That is Joey Jordison of Slipknot. And also, I do want to touch briefly on the new Phineas track as well as the new The Plot and You track. So with that out of the way, let's get started. So, of course, the biggest news of the week is Joey Jordison, founding Slipknot drummer, as this headline says, was found dead at 46 years of age. The family said that he died in his sleep. And of course, this is kind of, I guess older news at this point. But, when we do a news show once a week, this is what tends to happen. But I think that it's good because, Joey Jordison was, I was born in 1993. And as it says right here, they were called the Pale Ones, but later on Meld. And then he suggested they changed their name to Slipknot in 1995. So that happened 2 years after I was born. So you think about, I remember my earliest memories with Slipknot include just being in the car with my friend and his dad when I was like 6 or 7 years old, and his dad in this old green Ford F-150 truck listening to their first record. I remember listening to Eyeless and, all those tracks off of that record. And, that was always the drummer that we looked at. We're like, how is this guy even like a human being? Like, this is just absurd. This is crazy. But then, of course, he would go on to later lead the band in 2013 for personal reasons. And then, it was a neurological disease that attributed to that. And so 46 years old, it is just, it's a tragedy, man. And it's like, I've never really been like super affected by musicians' deaths. Because obviously they mean a lot to me, as musicians. But, I don't know them personally, so there is that kind of that void there. But with Joey Jordison's passing, it was kind of like it really made me think about, like where I am in life in terms of my age and whatnot. Because, this guy, it's like, along with Chester Bennington, it's like I know who these guys are, like my entire existence, essentially. My earliest memories date back to a time when I can recall listening to Slipknot, like when I was a young kid, and it's just crazy. It's one of those things that especially being just 46, you don't expect that at all. And, obviously he was, in a bunch of other, he wasn't part of the bands, but he played with a bunch of other bands, over the years as well. But it's quite the loss for metal. And, I think that, being a metalcore guy myself, if not for Slipknot, metalcore would sound a lot different, because I think a lot of metalcore bands adopt a lot of their sound from this Slipknot sound, that new metal kind of sound. And so, rest in peace, Joey Jordison. It's just absolutely, it's a wild one. It's a wild one to digest. Next up, we have a day to remember. They announced their next upcoming headline tour, the ReEntry Tour, which is a very fitting name, coming back from the pandemic and whatnot. It's a North American tour with support from Asking Alexandria and Point North. The tour goes from September 28th all the way through November 6th. And this is going to be pretty interesting, because I think that obviously a lot of, a day to remember, fans from the past have listened to the new record and they were not into it at all. And I would say that sonically, that record probably aligns more with current Asking Alexandria than anything. So I don't know, man. It's going to be, I got to be honest with you. And I usually like to go see a day to remember when they come by. I think I might pass this time. I really wasn't into that album. I just really, really wasn't. And I feel like we're going to kind of get a tour that doesn't really represent what I like to look for in a day to remember. And I was never really a big fan of Asking Alexandria, in all honesty, and Point North. I'm not really 100% sure. I've heard the name, but I've never really listened to any of the music. So Big tour on the way back. Day to Remember and Asking Alexandria. Those are two bands that could very well headline festivals, and you have, of course, Asking Alexandria as direct support for this North American tour. So it's gonna be a big tour for fans of those bands and like their more current sound. I think that'll be awesome, but I think it's gonna be a pass for me personally, but that's okay. That's okay. Next up, Fred Durst. He I mean, look at this look here. I love this look. That's got to be a wig. But Limp Bizkit unveiled a new track called Dad Vibes, which, I mean, Limp Bizkit Dad right here. I mean, it's an interesting look. Like you got the wig here, you got the red tinted aviators, and you have the jacket where, you know, usually people when they zip up their jacket, they you know, you get the zipper kind of all messed up and it goes up and it doesn't zip up, and it's like he just has it up in the middle there with it open. He just has a look, and you can't see his legs, you know, in that picture there. But I watched, you know, probably a good 20 minutes of their Lollapalooza set on YouTube, and he's got like dress pants on with long white socks and checkered Vans. So it's quite the look that Fred's sporting here. But yeah, they debuted a new song called Dad Vibes, which is going to be coming off of their upcoming album. And we actually talked about on this show many weeks ago at this point that, you know, Fred wasn't really super stoked with the way that the record was going. So it sounds like we're getting closer and closer to a new Limp Bizkit album. And of course, they're on tour right now with Spiritbox. And I'm going to be attending the show August 12th here in Guilford, New Hampshire. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. And I've never seen Limp Bizkit, so that'll be quite the show. But right now, make sure you check to see where Limp Bizkit and Spiritbox are. If they're in your area, make sure you get tickets now. And go back. I recommend going to watch their set at Lollapalooza. I mean, it was no Woodstock 99, of course, but it was really cool to see, you know, a Lollapalooza crowd get down to some old Limp Bizkit hits from the past. So that was really, really cool. Next up, we got Under Oath here. And there's this website here, voyeurist.io, and it looks like Under Oath is teasing something here, and it says, they watch, envy, glory, and disgust in every glance, seeking access behind every door while anticipating its inevitable rise or fall. We are the voyeurist. New music awaits those willing to be seen. So this is interesting. So new music awaits those willing to be seen. I wonder if this is going to be their new record. There's also a link here. Let's click on that. Oh, they want to access the camera. That's interesting. We won't. Okay. Interesting. I don't know what this is. Obviously, I'm recording right now, so this is live. This is live. We're doing this. Of course, they want to access the camera, and I can't because we're recording right now. But that's very interesting. I'm guessing that this is probably going to be a record. I think that this is probably going to be named after that. There's also a drop-down menu over here. I'm just trying to explore, see what this is. Okay, there's a YouTube video here. Are You Okay? So that's the name of a song, I'm going to guess. And Voyeurist looks like the album. So yeah, listen, I don't have all the answers. You know, I'm exploring as we go here. This is pretty interesting. I love when bands set up sites like this that kind of gets you, you know, a little bit more in their universe. I think that's really, really cool. So Under Oath has my interest, especially after their track Damn Excuses. I'm looking forward to it. I never really listened to Under Oath, and with that track, I was really excited, and I hope they continue on in that direction because I liked that song a lot. And as somebody who never really listened to a lot of Under Oath, it was a really great introduction to the band. Lastly, I just want to quickly touch on a couple tracks. We have Phineas, Eternally Apart, coming in at over 5 minutes. This is the intro to their upcoming record, which is going to be coming out later this year, I believe in August. And it was a pretty cool track. Obviously, the intro, when I did my reaction, I thought that the intro was quite long, but then obviously somebody in the comments pointed out to me that it was the intro track. So I was like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. But it was just straight up metalcore, man. And it was really cool to hear a song like that, just straight up metalcore. And you know, and their track In the Night was awesome as well. So Phineas, I feel, has always been underrated, and it was really cool to it's really cool to see this comeback because Phineas has been quiet for a while. I believe it's been close to 4 years since their last record, so I am definitely excited for some new Phineas. And lastly, the other track I wanted to touch on was the 𝗧𝗛𝗪𝗔's newest track, Face Me. Now, the 𝗧𝗧𝗪𝗔 has been a band that I've been interested in for a while. A lot of the stuff is kind of, especially some of the more newer stuff by them, it was kind of hit or miss. The older stuff when they were on Stay Sick at the time, which is now Modern Empire, was heavy. It was cool. And Face Me was awesome because it started off, I guess more in the poppier kind of realm, also mixed in with like some heavy parts as well. And I thought that was cool. But then the breakdown was outstanding. And then also you add on the added production value with so many different things going on. It was quite an interesting track, and it really caught my interest a lot. I know they're going to be releasing an album as well, due out in September, and I am very much looking forward to that. And so if you have not heard the 𝗧𝗪𝗪's newest track, you're going to be in for a pop mixed with some heavy, mixed with a wacky breakdown, and just all-around fantastic production value from the 𝗧𝗪𝗪. So with all that said, that's it for this week's episode of the Warped Report. Let me know. I want to hear you guys' earliest memories with Slipknot. Like I said, mine was I was 6 years old, and that old Ford F-150 truck with my friend and his dad was listening to the record. Are you going to be going to the A Day to Remember tour with Asking Alexandria, or are you just like, no way, man, I do not care about them anymore after that last record? What do you guys think of Limp Bizkit's new track? What did you think of their set at Lollapalooza? Are you going to go see them with Spirit Box? Are you excited for the new Under Oath? And also, what do you think about Phineas? Are you familiar with them at all? And also the 𝗧𝗪𝗪𝗪. Landon is obviously a fantastic musician. What did you guys think of their newest track? Let me know down in the comment section below, and I will see you next week with another episode of the Warped Report. Peace.